Okay, so this is just going to be a quick overview of the game itself, showing you the basic components and everything. This is the start of the first Union turn. In this scenario, the Confederates do go first, so they've already had their first turn at this point. They've activated and moved their troops, and now it's the Union's turn. So this is your main screen here. This is where you can select your forces, move them around the map, move them by rail, shows all your cities, all your opponent's cities, all that good stuff. On the right side here, this is where you're going to find the naval boxes with any naval forces that you have available to you. And to see what a unit has, all you have to do is click on it. So we can click on a naval force here. We see it's got a single ship. Same with your ground forces. If you click on them, it shows all the forces down here below. And we're going to get into the specifics of that just a little bit later on. Down here in the bottom left, you see an overview map of the whole region. Again, you can just kind of click around to move the different parts of the map as you wish. Right here, this will tell you any pertinent information to the current round, like what army you're selected, how many activation points you have, rail points remaining, all that good stuff. And we'll go over those items specifically again a little bit later on. Over here on our right side, this is a bunch of different buttons that will give you options throughout your game. So this little naval anchor icon here, this is where you can select and see any naval forces you have or attack different forces along the rivers, things like that. Shows we have 2 river gunboats currently available. Right next to it, you see event cards. Click on that and it shows all the event cards that you have. We'll get into that again also later on, but these can be used to do a multitude of different things throughout the game, whether it's to give you extra troops or extra money, extra movement, even allow you to maintain bigger armies. They do so many different things, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. To the right here where you see the date, says May 1861, this is what you click when you want to end your turn. Again, you can select it in the option menu whether you want that to require you to confirm that or not. This button here is the kind of overview button. So it gives you a game summary, and it tells you what your will to fight is, any major battles you've won, lost, and all the stats for each different side. Here is an undo button, so if you move a unit or do something that you decide you didn't really want to do that, you accidentally moved it to the wrong spot, you can click this to undo your choice. And this takes us back to the main menu where we can save our game, load our game, or quit out of the game as we so desire. Now, one last thing that I want to touch on when it comes to an overview of the game has to do with this section of the map here. Because when it came to the Civil War, a lot of the battles actually took place in this small section of the country. And they actually have a different map that kind of expands upon this. So if we hit our left control button, you see that the map pops up here and it shows more specifically what's actually going on in that region. You see the capitals, Washington, D.C., and Richmond, some other cities around, the rail, and it breaks it down into a much more specific layout of the terrain. Now, you can move your units around in here to very specific spots, but again, you can see that it's very detailed here where it's not very detailed throughout the rest of the map. So it will approximate your moves when you close out your map and it comes back to here. It will try to keep the approximate location of whatever units you've moved around in these regions, but when you hit control, they will still be wherever you put them. So let's just say we wanted to move this army located right here over into this section. We can move them over, and it shows that they moved from where they were located here to this area. But when we close it back out, it's just approximated on this map. You have to push the control button again to bring it out where they're specifically located on your special detailed map. And units can move from the main map here into the detailed map and out back and forth. So again, this is just a quick down and dirty overview of the game. We're going to get into all the specifics, all the basics, the movements, the attacks, all the different units here in these later videos.